Hey, everybody, it's the Mike Wagner Show. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you need. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful lady from Brazzaville, Congo, and she's now living in Nashville, going from one side of the pond to the other. She's got a couple of singles out, Dancing with Him Tonight, We Were on Fire, and also Heartbroken Girls, that's going to be released around May or afterwards. And she played with Wallace Hayes on Dream On, the 2019 tour, and opened for Terry McDermott, NBC's The Voice, and also just has a really unique blend as well, too. And we'll talk more about that as well, too. And ladies and gentlemen, living in Nashville, by the way, and just ready to go in the Music City. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen McCormick. Karen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. So you were born and raised in Brazzaville, Congo. You came to Nashville, and you have a couple of singles, Dancing with Him Tonight, We Were on Fire, and you've got a soon-to-be-released Heartbroken Girls, which going to be released March 13th. You played with Wallace Hayes on the Dream On It 2019 tour, open for Terry McDermott's NBC The Voice, and more. And, of course, you got an interesting history. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started.
Sure. That's quite an intro. I need to take you everywhere with me. That really boosts my ego a little bit.
If you can make cloning possible, I'd be glad to pay you.
Well, I was born in Brazzaville, Congo. I actually grew up in Washington State in a small town called Cheney, Washington. And I really, attribute my love for music to my father. He noticed when I was about 7 years old that I was humming around the house, singing around the house, and he encouraged me to join the children's choir at church. And I did, and I absolutely loved it. And from then on, I just was always singing around the house and joined the choir at church subsequently. I was about 11 years old when we were in the car, and he turned on the country music station. I really only knew Faith Hill and Shania Twain, and there was a female's voice coming through, and she was singing about a man named Tim McGraw. And because I knew Faith Hill, I was like, well, this must be Faith Hill. They're married. Out that it was a young girl by the name of Taylor Swift. And she, is the same age as my sister. And I was thinking, wow, she writes her own music and she writes songs about her life. And I loved writing and I loved singing. I never really thought of marrying the two together. So after that, I begged my dad for a guitar so I could start writing my own songs. And it really took about a little over a year to convince him to get me one. And I got one for Christmas when I was 13 and wrote my first song that same day and pestered my siblings by waking up at 6 a.m. to write songs, and my dad and I had an agreement after that. And he said, if you perform 3 times in public, I'll take you to Nashville, Tennessee. So
nice.
I did that, and we went to Nashville, and I was like, all right, I'm going to live here someday. I don't know when, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it will happen. And it finally happened in August of 2018. And the rest is kind of history. Here we are today.
Wow, that's something. And how old were you when you moved to Cheneyville, Washington?
Yeah, we actually moved from Brazzaville when I was about 1 year old.
Oh, wow.
And then we went back to Africa, but this time we lived in in Cameroon. My father was in the Peace Corps, which is how he met my mother, and then he was doing his PhD research, and that's how we went back to Cameroon, so he could do his research there. So I have lots of memories from Cameroon, not as many from Congo, but I did go back in 2014 to Congo and saw some family and told them all about the music stuff that's going on, and they were just as excited. And it's really great. great. It's wonderful to have a background of two very different cultures. I feel very blessed in that.
That's amazing. What was your dad studying at the time?
My dad was studying hydrology and geography. He's a geography professor.
Wow, that is amazing, and just getting you involved in the music, and that's something as well too. And of course, the question is, before we get in your music career, what's life like, comparing to Cameroon, comparing living in Cheneyville, Washington, to Nashville. I mean, what was it like in Cameroon compared to the United States?
Well, it's quite different. Everything from transportation to, your day-to-day life, of course, is going to be different. And it really does kind of open your eyes to the small things that you may take for granted in your everyday life here, such as having clean water and having access to public transportation and having the ability to have freedom of speech and things like that. And so what I am very appreciative of is having the ability to recognize those blessings because of that background and because of that experience. And it really is just, I think, a beautiful thing to come from a family of two different cultures, like I said, and have those married together, because it really does have perspective on your life.
Hmm. And that's amazing as well too. And in terms of the music, who are some of the more popular artists in Cameroon?
One of my favorites, her name was Brenda Fossey. She has unfortunately passed now, but she was definitely one of my favorites. I still remember us dancing around the house to her music. And that's the other thing, is what I love about music is it's the most universal language in the world. You can go to Africa and hear people like Taylor Swift, and regardless of whether or not someone there speaks English, they're going to sing the words and they're going to dance along. And that's one of my goals as an artist, is to bring people together regardless of your background, regardless of your past, and use music to do things like that.
That is amazing too. And also, who are some of your other favorite artists and singers and musicians growing up, besides, you mentioned Taylor Swift and others?
Sure. I have lots of respect for Carrie Underwood, and I really admire Casey Musgraves, both of them for very similar reasons, in that Casey has this unapologetic, ability to just tell the truth in her songs and tell her stories. And I think Carrie has just managed to push herself throughout her career and constantly grow from the days of American Idol to now, and really kind of branching out outside of music and using her notoriety to do other things, I think is incredible. So they're definitely up there as my inspirations.
It sounds very incredible too. We'll talk about the similar program to what Carrie Underwood was in, and also being on tour. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Karen McCormick. She was born in Brazzaville, Congo, then going to Cheneyville, Washington, then down to Cameroon, and now in Nashville, Tennessee, bringing us a couple of her singles. We Were on Fire, Dancing with Him Tonight, and also Heartbroken Girls, soon to be released on March 13th. And you also play with Walker Hayes on Dream on a 2019 tour, and you'll open for Tara McDermott on NBC's The Voice. And you mentioned about being network and everything else. And tell us about those two experiences, being on that tour and on the program on NBC.
Sure. Yeah. So Terry McDermott actually had a show in the Tri-Cities, Washington area, and I had the opportunity to open for him, which was a great experience. That was really my first time doing anything of that sort. But the Walker Hayes experience was definitely a moment of a lifetime. He really taught me the importance of having an incredible team behind you and just really tenacity, because if you know Walker's story, he actually has had a couple record deals before his present one, and was dropped a couple times. And
Ooh.
sometimes, in the music industry, you don't get a second chance.
Hmm.
Um, and so he's had that opportunity, and I can see that he doesn't take it lightly. And the way that that came together was Walker was opening for Kelsey Ballerini on the Unapologetically tour, and I posted a video of myself singing his song Halloween on Twitter, and he saw it and he tweeted at me and asked that I would co-perform that song with him that same night at the Knitting Factory in Spokane. And it was 2 hours to sound check, and it was like, okay, we're really doing this. And it kind of really, it turned my day around. I'll tell you what. And it was just so great, and he was so kind to then invite me to the Seattle date, and then he came back through Washington in May 2019 and offered the opportunity to do it again 2 more times. And I'm just so grateful. He's been so generous and very supportive and encouraging, and it really shows you the just warmth and love that Nashville and country music really do pour out. And the things that you hear about how kind people are in country music and in Nashville are 100% true.
That is amazing too. And of course, talk about tours and everything else. Any plans for you for an upcoming tour in 2020?
Actually, it's so funny you asked that. We were just talking about that the other day. Yes, I will be in, oh gosh, I hope I pronounce it right. Williston, North Dakota.
Wilson, North Dakota, not
Yes.
too far from me. Oh my goodness. It's like hop, skip, and a jump away. We're like neighbors. Amazing. It's like even when you're on the other side of the state, from a southwest all the way northwest, northeast to like northwest or something, we're still considered neighbors, just walking distance. Small world. What can we say?
So I'll start there in August, and we'll be kind of working our way down the Midwest and all the way down to the Southeast, and then we're going to head back up to Washington. So I know that Williston is confirmed that first weekend in August, and other dates are to be determined as far as confirmation. But yes, this is the closest thing to an official tour I've ever done, and I'm so excited.
That is fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you on tour as well, too. And you also got a couple of singles, Dancing with Him Tonight, We Were on Fire, and you got Heartbroken Girls. That's going to be coming out March 13th. And would you like to maybe, just sing for us one of the songs for just a bit?
Oh, sure. I wasn't expecting that. Wow. Okay. Well, do you have a preference on which one?
It's up to you.
Oh man, I was trying to throw the ball back in your court. Okay, let's see. I'll do Dancing with Him Tonight.
That's a fantastic choice.
All right, let's see. As the night went on, the cowboy made me laugh, made me forget what's his name, made me forget my past, as we swayed our hips to keep flats in McGraw. Oh, getting on up, cowboy, show 'em how it's done. A little bitty yeehaw, never heard no one. Country boy with the southern draw, quite the gentleman, he knows how to have fun. I like the way he moves when he walks by, and I wouldn't mind dancing with him tonight.
That is fantastic. I love it.
You threw me off, Mike. I was not expecting that.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And you know what? Makes you want to dance with him tonight. And tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, well, the first line actually says, I went to the rodeo with my friend Courtney, and that is 100% true. Courtney was my best friend in high school. We're still friends to this day, and she grew up in a small town called Reardon, Washington. It has like under 1,000 people in the population, and they have this rodeo every year, and I went and absolutely had a blast. And the story, it just kind of says like, I'm not really the type of person that dances with people or, dances in public really. And then you kind of meet somebody that is kind of willing to help you change that tune a little bit and kind of step out of your comfort zone. And that's really what the song is about.
Oh, that's fantastic. And you can see it all over the web, streaming on YouTube, Spotify, and other music services. And We Were on Fire. Tell us about that song and what inspired you to write that one.
Yeah, We Were on Fire is definitely one of my happier songs, which makes me really happy when I sing it. I have, as a writer, and I think that you go through ups and downs with this and you go through seasons of this, but at that time it was a little bit more of a challenge for me to write happier songs. And so I just challenged myself and sat down and said, you need to write a happy song. All your songs are sad. And even if you are sad, I think as a writer, it's just so important to challenge yourself. And one day, I do want to be a writer that not only writes for myself, but also for other artists. And so part of that is having the ability to sit down and say, this is what I'm going to write about today. And We Were on Fire is definitely one of those songs for me. And it was really reminiscent and nostalgic of a previous relationship and just the happy moments in it and just kind of capturing those feelings in that moment.
That is amazing as well, too. We'll talk about your upcoming single in just a minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Karen McCormick from Brazzaville, Congo, jumping over to Cheneyville, Washington, then going to Cameroon, and now in Nashville, Tennessee. Well-traveled and well-versed in music. We talked about some of her upbringing, which is very amazing. And she also performed a little bit for us, Dancing with Him tonight, and also talked about We Were on Fire. And now the soon-to-be new release single, Heartbroken Girls, which is coming out March 13th. Tell us about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, so this is the first single off of the EP, and that in itself makes me really excited because I feel that it's kind of the first chapter of this larger project, and I've never released an EP before, so I'm just thrilled in general about that. And Heartbroken Girls, I actually started writing and came up with the melody of the chorus when I was in the car, recorded it on a little voice memo, brought it to my co-writer, a very talented writer named Dana Marie Rogers, and I said, I have this idea, I have this song title, Heartbroken Girls. And as we talked about it, we didn't want it to be a sad song. We wanted it to be kind of more self-aware and very introspective and empathetic, really. And when you hear it and you listen to it in the chorus, it's supposed to be this song where if you're performing it live, everybody knows that moment of when to come in, kind of like Friends in Low Places vibe. Like everybody knows that's where we all come
Garth, where are you, Garth?
And that's, I think, what makes me really happy about it and happy singing it. It has this irony to it. The title is Heartbroken Girls, and throughout the song, you are talking about kind of, we do these things, and it doesn't have to just apply to women. It definitely applies to everyone. But what I love about it is that irony of it. And it's just kind of being like, yeah, this is what we do. This is who we are. But I think being self-aware doesn't have to be, you know, a sad thing. It can definitely be an uplifting thing. And that's really what the song is about.
That is amazing. Heartbroken Girls to be released on March 13th. And where can we find the song when it's released?
Everywhere, all the digital platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Google Play, Amazon, all the places that you download music.
And what is the name of the EP and when it's going to be released?
The EP is called Retro, and it will be coming out in the summer, either June or July. We haven't decided just yet.
Okay, so it'll be coming out in the summer then, and you'll be in Williston starting your tour in promotion of Retro.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
August.
We're so looking forward to it. And besides going on tour and having an EP, what are some of your other plans for 2020?
I should probably fit in some sleep somewhere in there. But also just writing. You know, writing is always at the forefront of my mind. I'm always thinking of the next project and the next song and the next thing that I want to do, and definitely honing in on what I want my brand of country music to be. And that'll definitely be one of my goals for 2020.
And once again, what's your brand of country and how would you describe your sound?
I would describe my sound as contemporary country, has a little bit of pop, has a little bit of traditional, but a little bit of old school for sure as well.
And that's very groundbreaking. I have to say that. And just a couple of minutes here, we'd love to have you back as well, too, Karen McCormick. And what do you consider your biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence, gosh, that's a heavy question. You know, I'm just, as I said previously, so inspired by the idea that music is the universal language, and I'm just inspired by artists that have the ability to kind of go all over the world and share their music with people of all different backgrounds and all different cultures, and that is really my goal, and that's my hope and in my future and in my career.
And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I love this question because I feel that it changes whenever I'm asked it. Because I think it can kind of vary depending on where you're at in your life, you know, what you feel is the best advice to pass on. I would say to be patient. It's not something that's easy to do. I need to take my own advice and be patient myself.
Me too, I have to say that. I got to take my own advice. I've never heard that before, but that's a good one.
But definitely be patient and surround yourself with people that really uplift you and encourage you and help you recognize what makes you you, because sometimes it can be hard to see in yourself, and sometimes you do need people around you to remind you of that.
And that's a really good idea as well, too. And once again, Karen McCormick, big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Karen McCormick, once again, here on the Mike Wagner Show with her releases, Heartbroken Girls, to be released March 13th. And love to have you back on sometime in 2020 as well, too, preferably later as well. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people purchase and listen to your music?
Yeah, you can find everything at my website, Karen, that's Karen, McCormick, McCormick, music.com. You can find my music on all the digital retailer platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube as well. And my new single, Heartbroken Girls, co-written with Dana Marie Rogers, will be available everywhere March 13th.
That sounds great. Karen, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And do us a favor, keep this up to date. We love you to have back on sometime in 2020.
Thank you so much for having me.